Hey guys, it's Deborah. Sorry if I'm sounding quiet or whispery. My kids are falling asleep, so I'm going to try to put my phone close. Hopefully you guys can hear this. So I just wanted to talk about the harvest moon that is going to be appearing tomorrow. Today is September 19th, where I'm at, and then September 20th is the full harvest moon. So this harvest moon is the last moon of summer, which brings in the fall. This season, there was 4 full moons, when typically there's 3 moons in a season. This could be a nod to, like 4, being a nod to barren fig tree parable, where it said, it's a 4-year parable and there's 3 years and give it 1 more year. It's called the barren fig tree parable. The 4 full moons, which is not typical, could be something to that. This could be the end of it, because it's kind of wrapping up. So let's say it started at the Revelation 12 sign. It could be ending again around Revelation 12, the September 23rd. Like that was 2017, and then 4 full years would be 2021. And it's interesting that typically the summer season only has 3 full moons, but this year it has 4 full moons. So could that be a hint that, that 4-year period is over? And again, so this full moon tomorrow, like I said, it brings in autumn, and autumn actually officially begins on September 22nd. And so that's 2 days after the full moon. And then Tabernacles, this all lines up with Tabernacles, which is September 20th to the 27th. And so like the 23rd, if it links to the 4 full moons, then the 23rd, September 23rd, 2021 would be 4 years from September 23rd, 2017 with the Revelation 12 sign. I don't know if that's a thing. I just want to tell you guys. And so Tabernacles, which is booths or Sukkot, the Feast of Tabernacles, is a 7-day feast, which is very interesting. And basically it is to remember the time when the Jews had to live in tents, in the Exodus. So in the, desert or whatever. So they were protected. So this is kind of about a time of protection and being in tents, like protected. So I don't know, that's interesting. And that it's 7 days, and it's kind of like the tribulation, 7 years. We're going to be protected for 7 years in the Father's house, those who are raptured. There's like a lot of connections here. And I know people are saying these feasts are not in line and it's all wrong or whatever. So I'll just give you this point of view. And I understand there's other point of views. I'm just going to tell you from this point of view, some stuff that happened to me, and then some things that could line up and why this could be something. But anyway, I just wanted to give you some tips or some points on that full moon that's happening tomorrow. So just about the discrepancy with the feast days, and most people, I guess, now are saying it's in October. I'll just give you my viewpoint. So what you're seeing before you is off my back deck. This was on what the Jews say is the Feast of Trumpets. So the first crescent moon, I guess the new moon or whatever, was spotted on the 8th. They said it was supposed to start from the 6th to the 8th or something, but I think it was starting on the 8th. And on the 8th, actually, I was out with my family, and we looked up the moon, and we didn't know. I didn't even remember it was Feast of Trumpets, and I didn't know about crescent moon or anything. But we looked up at the sky and we're like, hey, the moon looks like a tiny sliver. My son's like, looks like pizza crust. And we were just talking about it for so long. And I never do that. So then I get home, and then later I saw a video by Kimberly Ballard. Her channel's called Elijah and Moses. Hey, that's funny now that I think of that. Anyway, Kimberly Ballard, Elijah and Moses, talking all about this sliver moon and how it really blessed her. And it really blessed me and my family. So off my back deck, I don't know if you can see, but there's another bright light under the moon. Okay. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute. I don't know what it is, but it was huge. You can't really see, but it was really big. It wasn't just a star. I think it's a planet. So I just felt like it was kind of a sign for me. I'm not trying to put anyone down who's saying different days of feasts and stuff. I'm just saying, I didn't even know it was a Feast of Trumpets, and that happened to me, and we had a really beautiful experience with that, and so did she. And I'm not into calendars and all that stuff. Like, I don't even know the names of the calendars. I just know this happened to me. So what I truly think is that God works with where people are at. If the Jews need a sign on their feast, then they have to have it on their feast day, because they can't have it on a day that's not their feast day, because then it won't be a sign for them. Does that mean they have it right and it's all right? I don't know. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not putting anybody down. And one thing is, they are off with the year probably, because like we're in year 6,000 most likely. And I've actually done the count from Adam on. Like I have a video on it, if you like physically count. But they say we're in 5782. And I've talked about that. That year 5782 actually means Deborah awaken. So, or arouse and awake. So it has some amazing meanings in Strong's Concordance. And I said that's pretty cool. So I even said in that video, when I was talking about 5782 meaning Deborah awake, that was a nice sign for me. And it doesn't mean we're in 5782, because it looks like we're probably in year 6,000. So I just think he kind of works with you. You can see here, oh, my camera's all around, but that other thing is so huge. Okay. So this is actually taken on September 9th, which is like the day after the actual moon was seen. So, because the day it was seen, I didn't even know it was a thing. So I didn't film it, but I just filmed the next day, which it looked like pretty much the same. So anyway, again, with the Feast of Trumpets, true Feast of Trumpets, all that stuff, like at this point, I'm just staying out of it. I just know this happened to me. And there are, I think, pretty cool signs on Tabernacles. And again, if this is not Feast of Trumpets on September, whatever, I guess it was 6th to 8th, then Tabernacles would be off. But, and maybe it is, like, I honestly don't know. But I'm going to say, like, what I believe is, like, the signs will still happen, because the Jews are looking at these days being their feast days. So they'll still have signs probably. So I don't know. I just wanted to bring up what happened to me on that day. And then it's going to relate to the Tabernacles situation that I want to talk to you about, which kind of relates to year 5782, which we might not even be in. So I don't know. I'm just going to tell you all the stuff, and you can do with it what you will. Pray on it. And we have to really use the Holy Spirit. We can't just use our brains. So I wanted to talk to you about asking, well, not talk, but just quickly about asking for a sign or confirmation, or asking to God to show you something so you know you're on the right track. So I wasn't sure how right all these things are or whatever, because you know how it says an evil generation seeks a sign and stuff like that. But I sometimes do ask for signs and stuff. But with all this moon stuff, I did say, Lord, do you want me to talk about it? And he showed me something, and I'll show you what it was. But I prayed, Lord, do you want me to talk about it today? And I just heard on the radio today a story, like a preacher, and then he was talking about the story of when Abraham's servant had to find a wife for, is it Isaac? Oh my gosh, I forgot. I think it's Isaac. So, and Rebecca married him. Was it Isaac? Oh my gosh, I forgot. Anyway, Abraham's servant asked for a sign. He said something like, the woman who gives me water and says, yeah, I'll give you some water at the well or something. I'm sorry, guys. But he asked for a sign and he got it. And then that woman was Rebecca. And then he brought her back as the wife. This was Abraham's servant. So he asked for a sign and God gave him a sign. So I asked for one about making the video. And then I said, Lord, in my head, you know, if I'm to make this video, can I look out my window and see something? And I kid you not, this is right out my window. So it's hard to see, but it's just filmed on my phone, my cell phone. There was no moon. I couldn't see the moon, but I just saw this bright light in the sky. And I think it's the light that I saw the other day. It must be a planet. It's huge. Like, I know you guys probably can't tell, but it's really big. It's, I thought it was for sure a plane. I tried to show you in, you know, comparison to the houses. I mean, what the heck? It looks literally like the moon. It is not the moon. It's just either a star or a planet. I'm pretty sure it's a planet. And I'll show you, because what happened was when I was trying to figure out what it was, I just like put on like a star app or whatever on my phone. And then I like faced it towards it. I'm trying to show you like the comparison of the houses to the thing. That was right outside my window. I said, should I talk about the moon? And then I look, like the harvest moon. And then I look out my window and I saw that. And it was big and bright. But anyway, it was not a plane. So yeah, I put on the app to see what it was, and I'll show you what I saw, and I still don't even know. Like all of this stuff, I'm still kind of like, I don't have like this huge standpoint on it. I'm more of a purist when it comes to things changing and seasons and times and, whatever. But the 5782 thing is pretty true that we're probably in year 6000. So there's some changes, or I don't know. But anyway, I was trying to figure out, what is this? Is this a star, a planet, or what? But I do believe it was a sign for me to make the video, because I did ask, and then there it was, and that's not normal. I'm sorry, it's big. So it pointed at, I don't know if you guys can see, but it was like either Venus or Mercury. It's hard to see here, but that big yellow ball is the sun. Obviously, the sun is down. It could have been one of these two. Like I pointed at it so many times, and no matter what, it kept calibrating to either Mercury or Venus. And they were kind of like either in or around Virgo. So they're like in Virgo or around Virgo. So, and then it's a spica, which I don't know what that means. So again, this is not my thing. Sorry, I sound ridiculous. If anybody has any bright ideas, go right ahead. Venus or Mercury. I don't know what either of those mean. I don't know. So anyway, that's what I saw. Then God said, "Let there be lights in the expanse of the heavens to separate the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years." So clearly it is saying that we can use them for signs and seasons. And, you look at them and in appropriate ways, not like astrology, but astronomy, obviously. And there's so many verses about the moon and, like signs for the end times and all that stuff. But anyway, the point is, it's okay that we're doing this, as you guys know. Okay, so let me talk about the harvest moon. So it says the harvest moon in 2021 will be September 20th. And basically, yeah, I'm just going to show you. There's a little, I just looked up an article or whatever, and then there's a little part in here like how you can see it best. Okay, it says the harvest moon will be full on Monday, September 20th at 7:55 p.m., according to NASA, 2 days after passing Jupiter and 4 days before making a close approach to Uranus in the night sky. From New York City, the moon will be visible just above the eastern horizon when it reaches full moon phase and will be situated in the constellation Pisces. The moon rises in New York the evening of, I don't know, it's about New York. I guess this is like maybe New York Times. I don't know. The evening of September 20th at 7:13 p.m. and sets the next morning at 7:07. So this is just like some basic, it's obviously different everywhere. And it's just like the basic news about how to actually see the moon and the timing of it and stuff. Because it's called harvest moon, I thought of this verse. The field is the world, and the good seed is the sons of the kingdom. The weeds, it was about a parable. The weeds are the sons of the evil one. The enemy who sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the age, and the reapers are the angels. And I just like thought about the angels coming to get us and separating the wheat and the tares. And I just thought of the harvest, like the harvest moon, and because this is called the harvest moon. Okay, so I was like trying to figure out, how is the Feast of Tabernacles linked with this harvest moon, and is there a thing? What's going on? I don't know what people are saying for October and the Feast of Tabernacles. Now, again, with all these feasts, I've never said the rapture, anything has to happen on a feast day. I never even thought it would. We're Gentiles, so I thought it had nothing to do with the feast day. I honestly thought the feast days were for the second coming. But now I know a lot of people are saying the Feast of Atonement is like the second coming. And so therefore the Feast of Tabernacles is like separate. I actually just saw a whole interview, and Jewish people don't even know what the Feast of Trumpets is. I'm being serious. They don't even know. If you went to Israel and be like, "Oh, do you know about the Feast of Trumpets?" They don't even celebrate it or know it. I don't know if that's true. I saw that on One for Israel. Okay. They don't even know it's a thing. So that was weird. But people are saying it's like we come back on the Feast of Atonement, and so Feast of Trumpets is the rapture or whatever. Like, I have no idea. God has never told me that. So I don't know. I'm just like going to give you my clues. I just know that for the Jews right now, Feast of Tabernacles is coming up, and I want to talk to you a little bit about that. So I started searching about that, and I found this website. I went to this website, and it says days till the feast, and it's talking about there's 3 hours 15 minutes and 11 seconds or something till the feast. They were like counting down. Obviously, that's different now. But it relates to the days of Elijah. And it says, behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. So somehow they're tying in Elijah now with Feast of Tabernacles. And I'm like, okay, we got the harvest moon, we got Elijah, which he comes before the terrible day of the Lord. And how does Elijah link up with Feast of Tabernacles? And the whole reason I was interested in Tabernacles was, I don't know if you guys saw, but Genevieve Brazel, her latest video, or maybe it's not her latest, maybe the one before that, was about God telling her randomly, go sleep in a tent in your backyard with your two girls. And she's like, what? She didn't even know about Tabernacles. So she feels like God showed her something about Tabernacles. I don't know what it is, but Elijah, the harvest moon, and Tabernacles are all linked because she had to go sleep in this tent in her backyard. And that's what people do during Tabernacles. They sleep in a tent for 7 days, like remembering it. Some people do. I watched this one homesteader family and they're doing that. So this is the website. It's a Jewish like church. It's like in Israel, but it's like Christian. Feast of Tabernacles, Days of Elijah. So it's like linked with the Days of Elijah. And I'm trying to like research what is all this evening, trying to figure out. But there's a lot of links. And yeah, it's interesting. And I'm just following the breadcrumbs and sharing it with you. So Sukkot, booths, the Feast of Tabernacles, obviously it's all about protection and it's a 7-day feast. So like I said, there's some 7-day link, which there's so many, 7 days, weren't they in the ark 7 days, Noah and his family before it rained? There's like a protection for 7 days and then we're 7 years in heaven during the 7-year tribulation. So could there be some link? Is he trying to show us something? Like, let's pray on this. But I'm like, how does it relate to Elijah? I've read all, the Bible many, many times, but how does it link? I don't know. So then I found out it's because, remember, Peter wanted to set up 3 booths, 3 tabernacles when he saw Elijah and Moses in the Transfiguration. And then I'm like, wait a minute, my beautiful experience on September 8th linked up with that channel, Elijah and Moses. So I still don't have all the pieces, but I'm just laying it out. Maybe somebody has some ideas, okay? I'm just laying it out because, yeah, Elijah comes before the great and terrible day of the Lord. It's linked up with Tabernacles. Tabernacles is during this harvest moon. It ends summer and starts the fall, but I don't know when the fall starts for Israel. Sorry, there's no fall. That's another thing. There's no fall. Okay, there's no fall in Israel. There's only summer and winter. I forget. I didn't look it up when winter starts for Israel. So maybe it's around now. And this links up to the time period, September 23rd, to that dragon system that's coming in on the 22nd or 23rd. I forget even the channel who talked about it. I tried to find it and I couldn't find it. But there's like a big system and there's this guy who's been studying this for ages and he said, this is it. And I don't know. So I'm just giving you all these clues, but Elijah links up with Tabernacles and he comes before the great and terrible day of the Lord. And he might be one of the 2 witnesses, and Elijah and Moses, Kimberly Ballard channel, and me and the moon and connecting, my son saying it looks like a pizza crust and then her seeing it that day and being really touched by it. So again, I don't know why we're seeing all this and why it's all linking up. But again, I think these signs are for people, for where they're at. So I'm not trying to put down anybody who thinks anything different. And maybe all this will pass and it will not be a thing. I'm just laying it out for you. I'm just going to lay it out for you. And then there was this one Bible verse that's really interesting. And it says in Isaiah, it says, moreover, the light of the moon shall be as the light of the sun, and the light of the sun shall be 7-fold, and the light of 7 days in the day that the Lord bindeth up the breach of his people and healeth the stroke of their wound. So I don't know the context of this, but it's interesting. It's about 7 days and the moon. So and Tabernacles and the harvest moon at the time, and Tabernacles is 7 days. I don't know if that's like something, but somebody actually put a comment. I'm going to post their comment on this video I saw when I was trying to research all this, and I found this interesting. Okay, so it says the Jews on Tabernacles left their home for 7 days before returning. The church leave for 7 years before returning with Christ. Peter, James, and John go up on Mount Transfiguration on Tabernacles and see Moses and Elijah, who probably are the two witnesses. So basically, it's kind of like all the things I was saying. And then I saw that comment and I'm like, okay, everything I was thinking all just got summed up there. And I was like, okay, other people think this. So it kind of just all came full circle with the harvest moon, tabernacles, and Elijah. So I don't have like the full answer to all that, but maybe someone else has some thoughts. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow or for 7 days, or if it's not about that, I'll just put it out there. I don't know if it's about that or not. If it's not, then I'll just move on and look more deeply into if this October timeframe is like something where I have to like look into it. But then again, I told you, like, I didn't think we're going to be raptured on a feast, let alone tabernacles. Okay. Like that, because tabernacles to me is like the very end when we go and we hang out. But then again, we are going to tabernacle for 7 years in heaven. So I don't know. But then it's like this feast will be fulfilled. But then what about the other two? Like, I have no idea. I'm going to tell you about my experience with the moon and all this stuff, but I want to finish it off with something else that's interesting with regards to the year we're in or we're not in. But again, I told you, I think it's like, even if we are or aren't in it, like God will meet you where you're at. So anyway, let me show you this. So I saw this whole video, and again, guys, forgive me, I don't put links. I can't remember where I see things. So I'm just going to show you what I have, and you can search out some of this stuff yourself. But anyway, so we're supposed to be in year 5782. Again, if the Jews believe that, there's things, I think, God will, whatever, work with that. So again, I said 5782 meant awake or rouse or like really cool, which means Deborah, awake and sing. But so this is the Jewish letters or numbers for symbols for 82, pay and bet, 80 and 2. I saw this on another video somewhere. And yeah, this is what they look like. And I'm going to show you how they tie into kind of the stuff I'm talking about. Bet, I guess, is a picture of a tent. I don't know, guys, you can look into this more, but that person said, and gematria I know is like a Jewish thing. It's not it's like a Kabbalistic thing, Kabbalah, and I know, but I'm just saying, bet is a picture of a tent. So basically what the guy is saying is we're in the year of the tent or the tabernacle. So 5782. So I don't know, is it switching? So yeah, basically the harvest moon lines up with tabernacles, the ones the Jews say. I don't know which calendar, Torah or something, I don't know. And it lines up with, I guess, the summer ending. So like harvest time. I mean, there's just all these things, all these clues. So I guess just do with them what you will. I just find all this stuff really interesting, and that we're apparently going into the year, or are in the year, the Jewish year of the tent or the tabernacle. Could that have something to do with us going to heaven for 7 years? I don't know. Another interesting thing is that apparently the bet, which is I guess the 2, it's a 6, and a 6. And then, oh yeah, all I know is it's interesting that in one way it represents a tabernacle or a tent of hiding, safety. And then at the same time, there's 3 6s. That's what the 2 brings forward. And my daughter's dream, she said, Jesus said to her, 77781 is the difference between hunger and thirsting, suffering and salvation. It was like all these differences between 8-1. Like, so I don't know. All I know is 8-1 was good, and then 8-2 was not going to be good in the dream. So I just showed you that 2 was like the tabernacle or the tent, and then it's also 3 6s. So do with that what you will. There was a lot there. This wasn't all planned out, so that's why it's kind of like just all this info at once. But tomorrow, I'm not saying something's going to happen tomorrow. It's like a 7-day thing. Again, no shade to people that are saying other things. Like, I'm just telling you the story, what happened on the 8th for me. and I filmed the 9th. And with Kimberly and Elijah and Moses, that channel, then it brings me to Elijah and Moses, who are the transfiguration. And inevitably, the transfiguration is like us transforming our bodies. So could there be something here? Like the whole point of the transfiguration was it was showing like glorified bodies. And the same pastor who was talking about Elijah and all that stuff that I was learning on the radio today, he was also talking about heaven, and he was saying something like, I think it was the same guy, he was talking about how we'll know each other in heaven. And because some people are like, oh, do you think you'll know the people, like your friends, family, anybody? And he's like, yeah. He's like, look, the disciples knew it was Elijah and Moses. Isn't that crazy? It's like I don't know, but it could be that they just knew, because they'd never seen them, but they just knew it was them. I don't know if Jesus was like, hey, this is Elijah and Moses, but it's like they just knew it was them. Wouldn't it be amazing if we just had a knowing where like I just walk up to you in heaven, I'm like, hey, Judy, like, I just know you're Judy and I just know you or whatever. That'd be amazing. So this same guy was talking about all this interesting stuff. I don't know. It just felt like I just came full circle today. And yeah, so I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just telling you my story and just showing you all the links together. And my daughter's dream, I think, 5782 is going to be real bad, but 5781, it's like the difference, like, whatever you did in 5781 is going to determine how 5782 goes for you. That was kind of like her dream. So, and I've talked about the dream before. So anyway, yeah, I guess I hope that blessed you guys and was interesting. I don't know. I don't know if it's a thing, if something's going to happen. I've said before, like, this is what we all know. It's like birth pains. And, the birth pains, like I said, when it gets really close, it's just like anybody going into labor. They never have breaks in between. Like there's no breaks, and that's what's happening. Like with the Canary Islands and all this different stuff, there's just no break. Like every day, it's just every day something new, and that's exactly like having a baby. At the end, there's no break. There's hours. There's like a long time in between each contraction. Then there's minutes. Then there could be hours, and then it goes to minutes, and then it's like there's no break, and that's literally now. So I guess that's it. That's a lot of different stuff there. Yeah, I definitely don't pretend to know it all, get it all, or whatever. I'm just sharing with you guys as I go along. I don't mean to sound like I think I'm anything special or a know-it-all or anything like that. Yeah, but I also don't want it to seem like I have no idea what I'm talking about. But when it comes to the technicalities of space and the calendars and all stuff like that, it's not my thing. It's not something that it's not easily coming to me unless God just helps me through it. So I'll put this one all on God, because if I'm right about anything here, it would be all God, because I don't have a strong opinion on it, this stuff. But I'll just do whatever he wants me to do. So, okay, I hope that blesses you guys, and I hope I'll see you guys, in heaven soon, and I'll be like, hey, I know you. And I'll be like, there's Moses, there's Elijah. I just know them, and I know you. And we'll be able to, have a party for 7 years. Okay, I've talked long enough. Sorry, guys. And yeah, I hope that blessed you, and I'll talk to you again soon. God bless, and shalom.